Welcome to Lester Prairie, Minnesota, 45 minutes west of the Minneapolis-St. Paul area for the second day of the Minnesota Memorial Classic. It's a road race, a 23-mile flat loop, generally windy. We're going to pick things up here in the last couple of miles with a headwind section going into a tailwind finish. Again, my name is Brady Prenzlow. This is the Masters field for the Minnesota Memorial Classic, day number 2. We started on Saturday with a circuit race and time trial, and now here we are for a road race. There are 100 points on the line for today's race. The winner gets 100, 95, 90, and so on. After yesterday's circuit race and time trial, I am exactly 13 points down to the individual up there in the white kit, Chad Wisegram. He has 113 points. To my 100 points, I am tied actually for third, well, tied for second with Brian Welch from Hollywood Cycles, so we are both sitting at 100. So if I want any chance of winning the overall weekend, I need to win this race. However, today I'm going to show you how to lose this race. Road races have never been my forte. Although this flat road race, if I ever had a chance, it would be on this one. Actually won this race several years ago as a Cat 3. Now the finishing stretch used to be on this road right here. However, as you can see by the cars whipping by in the opposite direction, it's not a untraveled road. It's a fairly busy road, so the promoter, Mike Delaney, decided to move the finish around the corner to a less traveled road. So they've got about 2 or 3 miles left, and what are you going to be thinking in these last 2 or 3 miles? Primarily, don't get swarmed, get out of the wind, as we are. I mean, we're going 19 right now. So we've got a pretty significant headwind, kind of a head cross. As we take the right-hand turn at the very end, we'll get a tailwind, which is nice. But right now it's a headwind, so you're trying to stay out of the wind, not get swarmed, and of course, not go over that yellow line as you will be relegated. And all race, we get pretty close. When you get crosswinds, trying to stay protected, it's tough. But I have my data. I'm sitting at 152 BPM. Like I said, each one of these loops is 23 miles. We did 2 loops, so we're already at about 42, 43 miles for the day. Again, we averaged, I don't know what we averaged. We averaged about 24 miles an hour, I think. So not the fastest of races, but there weren't a ton of us either. My teammates did an amazing job. We got Michael Mardoz up there and Ben in front of him. I only have 2 teammates today, but they kept me out of the wind and bridged brakes all day long. So this race would have already been over for me, as Chad Wisegram and Brian Welch were up the road. Michael sat on their brake, pulled it back, and here we sit with everything together. I think we shelled a few guys off the back. But for the most part, the majority of the peloton is still together here. And again, it's the 40 plus and 50 plus guys, so it's a little tough to figure out exactly where I need to be win. But I just know I need to win. The plan was to get kind of a lead out with Michael and Ben, and Michael flies up the left-hand side of the road in a really narrow area there. I could have come around, but again, I also could have been bumped out into the other lane and been disqualified as well. However, that's not what caused me to lose this race. What causes me to lose this race is coming up in a couple minutes here. I follow Ben, and I'm really sitting way too far back because my 2 main competitors are just far enough up that if they make a move, I'm stuck. You know, Ben's bringing me up around some traffic here. I can see Chad right there through that rider's arm in the white. So he hasn't gone yet. And Chad has one teammate, Matt Myers, and they're going to make a pretty awesome move right here. Bam! They're gone. And right there, I should have gone around Ben, and I didn't. I just lost. That was what lost me that race. I'm not saying I could have stuck Chad's wheel and come around, but Now it's on, and they're up the road. So we're hammering. I'm trying to continue to stay out of the wind. Got Fred Meyer here on my rear, trying to follow Ben. I get on Mark Halverson's wheel, who's racing 50 plus. We still have just under a mile to go, because I would say that it's maybe 2/3 of a K after the turn. And you can't even see, but again, Chad is up the road, and then Brian is kind of in no man's land. So I get on Jerome's wheel, and we hit it. Todd Stordahl from Flanders. I know that he's going to push the pace. And again, we're still going into this headwind. We take this turn, like I said, at this turn, we've got about 2/3 of a K to go. Chad has got a comfortable gap. Brian Welch is in no man's land, and I'm in third. So if I get third, I'm sitting in third for the race. So I know if I can't come over Chad, I need to get over Brian, which would then put me comfortably in second place going into the third day of the Omnium. Robert Ashton's on my wheel. I'm still on Todd Stordahl's wheel. We're cruising now, 36 miles an hour, slight tailwind. I'm trying to anticipate when I want to jump to get around Todd to overtake Brian Welch. And I figure these pine trees up here would be a good time. I hit it, I come around, and now it's all me for the final stretch. Go, 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 go. Can I get around him? Bam! So here's how it all played out. Chad wins with a comfortable margin. The rest of us sprint for second place, and I nip Brian on the line for second. So I get second on the day, and actually, correction from earlier, I am tied with Brian now going into the final day of the Omnium, the crit in New Hope on Monday. See you then.